Welcome to Empower and Evolve, and I'm your host, Dunstan, and thanks for coming into today's episode. Now, this podcast is designed for those looking to break free from stagnation and enhance their well-being through actionable insights and inspiring stories. So you'd never miss an episode, hit that follow button and follow us through our social media accounts. Now, if you find value in our discussions, consider sharing this podcast with friends who you think might benefit listening today. Now let's get started on this journey of empowerment and transformation. Hi, Dan here, and thanks for coming back to Empower and Evolve. Now, for this week, it's going to be a double episode. Since, well, just like you and me, we've been busy with a lot of commitments for the past few weeks, and it's pretty stressful for most. And for this week, springing off from that thought, I'd like to talk a little bit more about, how I can deal, or maybe you can deal, the stress that comes with the holiday season, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about, what are the common sources of stress during the holidays? What does it do for you? And maybe we'll talk more about, actions that you can do to, if not eliminate, at least minimize that stress as you go through the last few weeks of the year during the holiday season. So without further ado, let's dive in. So just like we talked about at the start of this episode, commitments is left and right. Just like what I mentioned earlier, I wasn't able to publish my content last week due to a lot of commitment the past few days, and I really didn't have enough time to squeeze in to record an episode, so my apologies on that. But aside from the multiple commitments that you have, of course, there's that stress of finding the right gift, right? Having enough funds, because a lot of people I know are doing a lot of overtime for the past few weeks just to make sure that they get their pay before Christmas Day. They have enough funds to buy that very expensive gift that they want to give their partners or their children or their spouses or their family members, right? You count in as well traffic. Here in Manila, I know malls are extended up until 11 p.m. now every day, just to be able to accommodate the late night shoppers, people who are coming off from work so that they can do their evening shopping for the holidays, right? There's the family reunions, batch classmate reunions, best friends, you have your different circles of reunions. It's left and right, right? And especially for those like in the sales field, in the retail field, in the e-commerce space, now is a really heavy time for them because, of course, there are a lot of people buying, so they have to be able to be there to accommodate their needs, their questions, right? It also, even in the manufacturing side, they're still in the process of making sure that the supply of the gifts that's available there is available. Anecdotal story, a few days ago, I was doing my regular monthly grocery, and we're not even talking about the holiday grocery for the Christmas Eve dinner and the New Year's Eve dinner, right? You know, aisles in the groceries, there are certain sections in the aisles in the groceries are overstocked with supplies, particularly ingredients that you need for Christmas, like cream, ingredients for fruit salad, uh, ham, Eden balls, just to name a few. And it's just example of people being preparing, being there, preparing for the holidays. And I'm pretty sure one way, in some shape and form or another, they're also stressed to prepare, right? Now, of course, we all know, generally speaking, stress can be negative, can be detrimental to our health. May it be your mental health, your physical health, right? Some people, they could either feel burned out because they've been working longer hours, or they feel anxious, right? Because they haven't completed their Christmas shopping list, the gifts for their godchildren, their nephews, their family members, their friends, to preparing for events, right? I mean, a lot of companies celebrate Christmas parties at the end of the year, and as early as maybe second week of November, last week of November, companies have been celebrating events left and right, right? And I had even a chance to speak into one engagement as they celebrate their Christmas party last December 9. Right? So when you think about that stress, and I told you, generally speaking, it's detrimental, right? I mean, there's a good side of the stress when you think about it, because it also puts you in a uncomfortable state where you can see how much you can stretch yourself, how much you can push yourself, right? But of course, when you think about stress and you think about those two aspects of it being negative and the other aspect of being positive, right? You know, challenge and stuff. You just need to be mindful up to how much are you willing to stretch, and up to how much are you willing to take on that mental and physical toll on yourself as you go through the holidays, right? Because I mean, who wants to celebrate Christmas with the flu, or you're down in a hospital because, or you're in a hospital because you were sick, right? I mean, it's not fun, definitely. Especially you don't want your family members celebrating Christmas with you in the hospital because you were hospitalized because you were too stressed, right? So just be careful on that part. Now, when you talk about that, managing that stress during the holidays, of course, I will always tell you self care is important, right? Try to manage your schedules. Try to manage your time, try to get enough sleep. I mean, there's a long list that you can do in order for you to have the right self care during the holiday season. And I have a few things on my list, right? I mean, if everyone has their Christmas list, here are a few things on my list to help you manage your stress during the holidays. So, first things first, right? You have to set realistic expectations, not only with yourself, but with the people around you, with your commitments, right? That, of course, not everything you plan will happen, and you have to accept that. I mean, there's a certain piece of planning that is still uncontrollable, and you have to be able to embrace the idea that it can happen, right? We can minimize, um, but it's not always foolproof. You know, when I think about that realistic expectation, you also have to be able to plan ahead. Tying those two together, right? With so many social gatherings that's left and right, keep your physical and social battery in check. What do I mean? I mean, you've been working long hours, right? There's a Christmas party or dinner event on every day, pretty much. I don't know, for the rest for every week until the end of the year. So know when to say no to invitations. If you have to deter certain things, and get enough rest. Right? Get enough rest. I mean, I cannot reiterate that the cold weather plus lack of sleep plus fatigue will bring your physical state to a very low level where you can get sick, right? So plan ahead and take enough rest, right? Next on my list is create a budget. You know, there are a lot of videos that you can have the Christmas Eve dinner with a budget, within a budget price, right? We all want to have a very nice, if not great, if not the best meal that you can serve during Christmas. But you also have to be realistic about it. I mean, if this is the only budget you have, try to make the most out of it. Um, whether it's with a dinner, whether it's with gifts for your loved ones, right? I mean, try to work within your budget. I know that a lot of credit cards in the Philippines, they run a zero interest that you pay 3 months from now, 4 months from now. Maybe a good idea for some, but I guess not a good idea for most. Why? Especially if you don't have control over your budget, your earning capacity, right? Overspending now might put you in a difficult situation 3 months from now, 4 months from now, right? You'd never know if there's another financial difficulty you'll encounter during that time that you have to cough up money, right? Whether it's hospital bills, whether it's a certain emergency or school tuition for those parents who have still have kids going to school, right? You'd never know, right? So you have to be able to plan that budget. Now, third one is stay connected. When I say stay connected, yes, we talk about the reunions, we talk about gatherings, we talk about dinners, right? Staying connected in this aspect, although yes, I would highly recommend if you still have enough energy and time and the budget for it to go out, meet friends over expensive dinners and what have you not. But always think that more than the gift, more than the budget, more than spending on luxurious things, on the expensive things, right? Being able to connect emotionally with the people that you value and values you, whether they're your friends, whether they're your family, and those people that uplift you, right? And when you think about the spirit of Christmas or the spirit of the holidays, it's an uplifting period, right? Now you can go to even virtual gatherings, or even drop them a line, a simple SMS, a simple social, like a WhatsApp or a Viber message, or if you have the creativity, right? Print out cards, and then send them over via snail mail. I mean, it's been a while since I received a Christmas greeting card, so it's something maybe creative that you can do. At least if you're in the artist side, that's a way for you to de-stress yourself and still be able to connect to others, right? Lastly, stay active and stay hydrated. Because with so many Christmas shopping, so many activities, you're walking around, going left and right, and going through the traffic, going through a lot of people in the mall. Um, I mean, you're gonna tire your legs out. It's pretty much unwanted cardio, workout, and maybe a little bit of lifting because you have gifts that you have to carry with you, right? Going to from the mall into your house, right? Keep hydrated because if you don't, I mean, well, dehydration is another cause of being sick, right? So, again, just to wrap up today's episode, holidays become stressful if we don't learn to manage it. We all want to make the holidays special. We all want the holidays to be meaningful, not only for ourselves, but for our loved ones. But the best way to do it is being able to manage your stress by preparing, by saying no, learning to say no, so that you can take care of yourself better, and being able to build that genuine relationship with the people that matters to you the most. Doesn't have to be always be physical. Sometimes a phone call, sometimes an email would go a long way. So with that, here at Empower and Evolve, I hope that these tips can help you go through the stress of the holidays, just like you and me. I want you to become a better version of you as we end the year, or we're closing the year of 2024. And with that, take care. Catch you next week. Bye for now. Hey, buddy. Thank you for joining us on this transformative journey of empowerment and growth. Now remember, it's not just about evolving. It's about embracing that incredible power within you to become the best version of yourself. Keep striving for greatness, because together, we can create a world where empowerment knows no bounds. And if you find value in today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and share this podcast with someone who could use that little inspiration. Until next time, stay empowered, stay inspired, and keep shining brightly on your path to evolution. With Empower and Evolve, you have the tools to unleash your potential and rewrite your story. Let's continue to evolve together.